Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's interview. I have with me Pritam Dutta, who is the Director, Digital Transformation and Innovation for AB InBev, which is the world's largest beer company with some well known brands such as Budweiser and Corona. So, today in conversation with Dynamic CIO, Pritam will be talking about the company's digital transformation initiatives and how the company is leveraging technology. Thanks, Pritam, for joining us.
Thanks, Shipra, for inviting me, and so glad to be here.
Starting with a very cliched question, I think that is something which everyone starts off asking these days is that, we all know about the businesses being hit by the coronavirus pandemic. So while I don't want to delve too much into how it impacted the business or, how you are getting back on track, but the point is, what kind of business resiliency plans have you built in, and how are you seeing technology, especially digital, as a key aspect of this resilience?
So I think COVID, as we say, is the best chief digital officer that we could ever have. So COVID has accelerated the digital transformation for not only for us, I think enterprises across the globe and consumer goods in particular, because I think the industry has seen a massive change in consumer behavior, which is driven, how we used to see channels pre-COVID to now post-COVID. For example, the rise of direct consumer, the rise of B2B are some of the areas which has seen a dramatic shift due to COVID. So uh, across the consumer goods industry as a whole and beverages um, sector, I think there has been a dramatic shift, and both in terms of consumer behaviors as well as in terms of how we see the business operating. And so digital has become now at the forefront of the transformation that we are driving in the industry and as well as in our company.
So, can you talk about some of the initiatives that were taken as a result of the pandemic? Any new digital initiatives you have undertaken in the last few months to better deal with the challenges that the pandemic has thrown upon you?
So the pandemic has been, for us, it has been like an accelerator. We are in an industry which definitely, because of the impact COVID had on bars and restaurants, has been impacted. However, this has also given us an opportunity to accelerate a lot of our journeys in terms of digital transformation and also find out new ways of working, which we didn't foresee earlier. For example, we have doubled down on our initiative on B2B, which is kind of focusing on more digital transformation, focusing on more direct to consumer play. We had the opportunity to also look at how we manage our cash, so and how we kind of give credit to our customers, how we can use technology to better predict and analytics to better predict which customers to give credit to ensure that we have a healthy receivables and payable situation at our end. And I think, all of this, I would say, is an organization we had been thinking, but COVID has just made it fast track and enabled us to kind of really leapfrog in this digital transformation.
So, what are some of the digital technologies that you see as the game changer in your industry? And can you talk about some of the initiatives that you have undertaken in those technologies?
Yeah, so I think first and foremost is direct to consumer. I think direct to consumer, and I will be industry specific, and beverages as a whole are seen as a great opportunity. Currently, especially in India, there are a lot of restriction in terms of direct I would say alcoholic beverages sale. But what we have seen in some of the other countries that scene that is becoming a huge boom in terms of and a massive shift in terms of consumer behavior. The second, I would say analytics, because now more than ever, you need to know your customers better. You need to know, and predict how much vulnerable they are to a situations like this, and decide who are the customers whom you kind of have relationship with, how you manage those relationships. So I think having a strong predictive analytics technology team, having strong predictive analytics platform, ensuring robust processes are some of the key there. And I think the third and the most key one, I would say that COVID has provided an opportunity to look at process transformation and not just technology, because digital transformation is not about how you just bring in a new cool technology. It's about how you really shape the process. What it has provided an opportunity for us to look at an end-to-end process. For example, if I take a process like an order to cash, it's not just about bringing the new technology like high radius to automate the process, but to also look at where the process starts, starting from the order management, from logistics to delivery, and to ensure that are you rendering to the right customer, are you rendering the right amount, do you have the right checks and balances in your system, and really relook at the process of the number of steps that are involved, and how you can have a much more resilient and flexible process. So I will summarize, I think, the top key three things. One, process and business transformation as the core to digital transformation. Second, predictive analytics. And third, really building a resilient organization by focusing on using technology at the right place at the right time.
Okay. So, can you talk about some of the initiatives which are underway, digital transformation initiatives which are underway at the company currently?
So, these are primarily, as I mentioned, there is a very strong focus around direct to consumer as an area. We are also looking at an opportunity to explore how we can optimize our order to cash cycle by using partnering or exploring fintech capabilities. And third, kind of really doing a end-to-end experience change within the employee or like within the organization by creating a robust employee experience platform.
Okay.
These are kind of creating, and I think through COVID, one of the things has been that with many of us working in flexi offices, and I think this is a situation that's going to continue for some time now. I think there is also a huge opportunity that we are seeing in terms of infrastructure and how we can really reshape our technology infrastructure that we have in the organization.
So, when you spoke about processes, transformation of processes, have you started automating some of the processes, or are you looking at automation in the future?
So we have been looking at automation, or automation has been part of our digital transformation agenda for quite a while. What difference COVID has made is, instead of doing automation in pockets, we are now looking at automating the full journey. So, rather than automating, say, a part of a procurement process, what we are looking at, how you can really reshape and transform the process, and not just look at just automating a particular PO or an invoice processing, but the full end-to-end cycle of procurement through complete digital transformation. So the focus is to look at platforms with whom we can have strategic relationships and can drive wider digital transformation.
So this is something like an RPA technology combined with analytics and AI.
RPA is a part of it, but we are also looking at full suite of automation platforms, which are process specific. For example, maybe and we are working very closely with some of the startups also. So, for example, a startup which My innovation brewery team scouted called Air Chain. We are exploring partnership with them. There's Bangalore-based startup, lot of potential, whom we are exploring for a potential automation of our entire procurement process in some of our developing and emerging markets.
Okay. So, are you looking at technologies such as artificial intelligence and machine learning in the future?
Yeah, so we are working already kind of with those technologies. We have very what I would call strong business cases for it. And as I said, pre-COVID, they were the pace was there. They were part of our B2B roadmap. They were part of our analytics team because we used to kind of drive a lot of predictive analytics based on some of the algorithms that we had, machine learning algorithm that we had in our end. However, I think COVID has just accelerated the whole process, and rather than it being a nice to have, it's now must have.
So, what are some of the use cases in your company or in your industry that you're exploring with AI and ML?
I can speak for the industry as a whole, because I think as part of my innovation hat, I have the opportunity to work and kind of connect with some of the other players in also in the consumer goods space. So I think a strong use cases we are seeing around AI and ML around the, as I mentioned, in the order management, cash management space. We are seeing a strong use of analytics management in terms of retail, in terms of how our products get placed, measuring consumer behavior, consumer analytics, and there are very not only strong use cases. I think there is already a lot of implementation in place. We are also kind of have already piloted in some of our company-owned stores similar technologies through which we are able to kind of measure both customer interactions with our brands and the engagement that comes.
Talk about Innovation Brewery, which is one of the functions within the company. So, can you tell us more about Innovation Brewery and how are you using digital to drive some of these innovations and some of these ideas that come out of the Innovation Brewery?
Yes, so Innovation Brewery is a very unique function. See, one of the key things or the concept that we work on is focused on how do you create differential value for the organization by leveraging resources which are wider than the organization itself. So with this concept, we believe in the concept of open innovation, where we work very closely with startups, we build products, and we have three global hubs based, I lead the one in India, and we have hubs in Israel, we have in New York, and we connect startups and partners from India to across this hub and across the whole organization where we operate. Now, Innovation Brewery provides this unique ecosystem that we have, for example, in India, in across Asia Pacific, to benefit of both for the startup because it gains an easy access. Innovation Brewery is the gateway to the wider ABI to pilot, tested products, and kind of build a partnership with the Fortune 500 at a rapid pace. And for us, it provides us, I would say a different way of thinking, a problem that I possibly won't be able to solve through my traditional sources. If I can partner with a startup and solve them in a different way, it's a win-win for both of us. So that's where Innovation Brewery comes in.
What are some of the innovations that you have undertaken where digital has played a key role?
Most of our digital innovations primarily have been focused on really improving the bottom line, but there is a unique case which we did last year, which primarily focused on tracking our chillers and how consumer interact with the chillers, because so we used IoT, we used real-time analytics, which we integrated with our chillers, and that helped us kind of get a good behavior, good understanding of how some of our distributors, some of our customers, what are the brands that get placed in those chillers, how do consumer interact with them, what are the favorite brands to pick, and really create a strong insight which we could leverage for our product placement across the retail footprint. So digital has been kind of leading in some of our new business initiatives, and now, and also has been helping in kind of some of our growth areas at this point.
Mhm. To wrap it up all, what would be your, let's say, your go-to technology or the go-to digital technology for you over the next 1 year?
Uh, for me, if there is one area where I will invest, would be, doing partnerships across the startup ecosystem space and analytics, because this is the time to really build strong partnership so that you can leverage a new stack of opportunities, and at the same time, build data and analytics as a core capability, because we can build a lot of digital transformation journey, but most of it won't be impactful if you don't have a strong data backbone behind it. So for me, it will be strong startup partnerships and building a strong data and analytics backbone.
Great. Thank you so much, Pritam, for your time.
Thank
That
you.
was awesome, and hope you have a great day.
Thank you.